Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a very important skill that I had to learn in my university, which not only helped me during my university years, but also has immensely helped me in my professional life. And this is the skill of active reading. Now let's just first understand how active reading differentiates itself from leisure reading. I developed a strong reading habit in my primary school, and I thought when I came into university that reading is not going to be a very difficult thing for me because I have developed a very strong habit. But in university, I had to learn that academic reading required a different kind of mindset and a skill set, which I just did not possess at that time. So here are 5 things that I did in my university years to improve my ability to read actively that has also helped me in my professional life. So number 1, it's about allocating time and budgeting energy for the task of reading. Now, this is especially important to understand if you have a habit of reading before. So when I came into university, I said, you know what, I'm just going to get done with the other tasks before, and then I'll do the reading because I already have a strong habit of reading and I enjoy doing it. The result, more often than not, I had no time left to read and I did not have any energy to read. The reason for that is Parkinson's law. Now, this law states that when you allocate a time to a particular task, that task will expand to occupy the entire time that you allocate to it. So let's say you have to write a report and you say, you know what, I'm going to give myself 5 days to complete this report. I can bet you more often than not, you'll be submitting that report on the last minute of the 5th day. Take another scenario. Now you allocate only 3 days to do the same report that requires the same amount of effort. You'll be able to do it in 3 days. When you allocate a time to a certain task, you're no longer thinking along the lines of how much time you need to complete that task. Rather, you think how much time you have left over to complete that task. And that is why when you will allocate yourself 5 days, you will tend to become lazy, you will find it difficult to focus on it, and you'll probably push it off till the last minute when the panic button kicks in and you muster all of the late surge energy to getting it done, as opposed to when you do it in 3 days. So how do you work your way around it? Well, you consider academic reading or any kind of formal reading to be an actual task that you need to do in the entire day. For me, it was writing it down in my to-do list for the day that I have to do this reading. Now, when you write it down, you are subconsciously budgeting a certain amount of energy that task would require. For me, I work well in the early hours of the day, so I would tend to get most of my reading done at that time, and that's how I was able to do my readings and get ahead of it. So remember, allocate time and budget energy to do active reading. The second thing, you need to have a designated place to read. Now again, if you have a habit of leisure reading, we sort of romanticize the idea of reading on a couch or on a lounge or on a beanbag or by the window. That's fine when you're doing leisure reading, but when you have to do academic reading or any kind of formal reading, you need to be more disciplined. You need to designate a space to read which is well lit and which allows you to sit upright. Because when I was trying to do my academic reading on the couch or on my bed, I would tend to doze off, and I could not figure out for a while, why am I dozing off? It was not about that I didn't find my work interesting. It's just that my brain was not getting the right signals. But when I started sitting on the desk and sitting upright when I was doing my reading, I felt like it was just a little bit easier for me to focus. I was not dozing off. So make sure that you allocate a proper space to read, which is well lit and which has minimal distractions, which also includes digital distractions. Number 3. Remaining focused while reading. How many times has it happened that you sat down to read, you've allocated time to read, and 10 minutes in, you've come across a difficult concept and suddenly you just can't focus, you pick up your phone and then you waste hours on doom scrolling. That happens to all of us. Regardless of how smart or how intelligent you are, these things will happen because this has nothing to do with your intelligence, but everything to do with your discipline and how you understand how your brain works. Now, when you're doing a difficult reading, right, you would often feel that you're getting tired. It is because you are expending a lot of intellectual energy. Your brain is being forced to do something that is not normal for it. Think of it this way. Let's say you have a habit of running or jogging for 5 miles. One day you decide, you know what, I'm going to go for 7 miles. Those extra 2 miles are going to push your body to do something that is not normal for it, and you will get more tired on that particular 2 miles. Similarly, when you're doing some sort of active reading, and especially when you're reading something for the first time, you're forcing your brain to learn something entirely new. And that is why your brain has to expend a lot more brain power in trying to understand and comprehend those concepts. And that is the reason why you're feeling tired and you're feeling that you can't focus. So the only thing that you can do in this particular scenario is to get comfortable with this feeling. Understand that your brain is now working hard to understand that concept, and you just have to push through it. But it's always helpful if you take breaks in between. The other reason why you're getting tired when you're reading is because your eyes are being forced to do something that's not natural to them. Now, our eyes tend to gather information in random movements, but when you're reading something, you're forcing them to read across the line. And that is something that is not natural for your eyes, and that is why you feel tired. And here's a simple thing that you can do. Think back to the time when you were learning how to read. How did we read when we were first learning to read? We used to use our finger as a guide when we were reading. And the reason why we did that, because it is easier for our eyes to focus on the finger rather than on the word that is in the middle of an entire paragraph. Number 4, an oral verse may fade, but a written word lasts forever. A while back, I was listening to an interview of Bill Gates in which he was explaining how he goes about reading. Now, this is one of the sharpest minds of our century. And he said that when he's reading, whether it's a book or a paper, he usually has a pen in his hand and he would make comments on the side. Now, if you look at those academic papers, usually they have a lot of empty spaces on the sides, and those empty margins are there for you to take notes. I recently read a couple of books, and the only way I'm still able to recall most of what I've read is because I took notes on the sides. Some people like to take notes on the computers by typing it out. For me, I believe what works best is writing those things down on a piece of paper, because when you write down your notes, you have to slow down. And when you slow down, you give your brain more time to absorb the new information that you're trying to comprehend. And number 5, read, review, reevaluate. Now, you've read the text, you've taken the notes, but there's one more thing that you can do to further enhance your understanding of the subject matter, and that is to share it with others. One of the things that I have started doing consciously or subconsciously is that whenever I learn something new, I bring it up in different conversations with different people. When I share something with others, I have to explain it to them. And while I explain the text to somebody else, I am able to evaluate my own understanding of that subject matter. Secondly, when I am sharing that information with others, I am inviting a fresh perspective on the subject matter. And oftentimes in those discussions, I come across something entirely new that I had missed out when I was conducting the reading on my own. So these are the 5 things that I did in my academic life, and I continue to do them in my professional life. So let me know in the comment section below if you've ever tried out these techniques, or if you've ever tried something else in order to enhance your understanding of your subject matter. If you like this video and want to watch more content related to learning and professional development, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For now, goodbye.